Welcome back to Record Rift, where we rip through history's pages to reveal the moments that shaped our world. Today, we're plunging into the chaos of the Bronze Age collapse around 1200 BCE, when mighty civilizations crumbled, plunging the ancient world into its first dark age. Picture grand palaces burning, trade routes silenced, and empires like the Hittites, Mycenaeans, and Egyptians teetering on the brink. In just a few decades, the vibrant Bronze Age world vanished, leaving ruins and mysteries. What caused this catastrophic unraveling? Who were the shadowy forces behind it? Join us as we explore the Bronze Age collapse, a saga of destruction, survival, and rebirth that reshaped humanity's path. Let's dive into the ashes. By 1300 BCE, the Bronze Age was a golden age of interconnected civilizations. In the Eastern Mediterranean, powerful empires thrived. The Hittites in Anatolia, the Mycenaeans in Greece, the Minoans on Crete, and Egypt's new kingdom under pharaohs like Ramesses II. Mesopotamia hosted city-states like Babylon, while the Levant buzzed with Canaanite and Phoenician traders. These societies were sophisticated, bronze tools and weapons, monumental architecture like Mycenaeans' Lion Gate, and writing systems like cuneiform and linear fueled their power. Trade was a lifeblood, linking Egypt, Mesopotamia, and the Aegean in a web of commerce. Tin from Afghanistan, copper from Cyprus, and luxury goods like lapis lazuli flowed through bustling ports like Ugarit. Diplomacy, too, was advanced. Letters between kings, like those in the Amarna archive, show alliances sealed by marriages and treaties. But this interconnected world was fragile. Over-reliance on trade, rigid palace economies, and social inequalities left these civilizations vulnerable to disruption. By 1200 BCE, cracks were forming, setting the stage for a collapse that would erase centuries of progress. Around 1200 BCE, the Bronze Age world imploded in a matter of decades. The Hittite Empire, centered in modern Turkey, vanished, its capital Hattusa burned and abandoned. Mycenaean Greece, with its warrior kings and palaces at Mycenae and Pylos, saw its strongholds destroyed, its linear script forgotten. In the Levant, Ugarit, and other trade hubs were sacked, their records silenced. Egypt's new kingdom, while surviving, was battered, its power waning after invasions. Only a few city-states, like those of the Phoenicians, endured relatively unscathed. The collapse wasn't just physical. Literacy plummeted, trade routes collapsed, and populations shrank as survivors fled to hills or villages. Archaeological evidence paints a grim picture: ash layers, mass graves, and abandoned cities. Inscriptions, like those from Egypt's Ramesses III, describe chaos and destruction. The interconnected Bronze Age economy relied on far-flung resources, unraveled when key nodes fell. This wasn't a slow decline, but a rapid, violent catastrophe, plunging the region into a dark age that lasted centuries, with writing, art, and urban life fading into obscurity. What triggered this apocalypse? No single cause explains the Bronze Age collapse. It was likely a perfect storm. One major factor was the mysterious Sea Peoples, groups of raiders named in Egyptian texts who attacked coasts from 1200 to 1150 BCE. Their origins, possibly Aegean, Anatolian, or displaced refugees, remain debated, but their impact was devastating, sacking cities like Ugarit and weakening Egypt. Natural disasters also played a role. Earthquakes, common in the region, damaged palaces and ports, while evidence of drought in tree rings and sediment suggests famine and unrest. Internal weaknesses compounded the crisis. Palace economies, controlled by elites, were rigid, unable to adapt to disruption. Social unrest, possibly from exploited peasants or slaves, may have sparked revolts. Some Mycenaean sites show signs of internal destruction. Trade disruptions, perhaps from piracy or resource shortages, starved cities of tin and copper, crippling bronze production. Climate change, with cooler, drier conditions, likely strained agriculture, fueling migration and conflict. Together, these pressures, external invasions, natural disasters, and internal fragility, created a domino effect, toppling one civilization after another in a chain reaction collapse. The Bronze Age collapse ushered in a dark age that lasted roughly from 1200 to 800 BCE. In Greece, the Mycenaeans' palaces were gone, replaced by small villages. Their writing system vanished, leaving only oral traditions that later shaped Homer's Iliad and Odyssey. In Anatolia, the Hittites' empire fragmented, with only small Neo-Hittite states surviving. Egypt, though enduring, lost its imperial reach, retreating inward. Mesopotamia saw a power vacuum, with Assyria later rising. The Phoenicians, adaptable traders, thrived, spreading their alphabet, which influenced Greek and Latin scripts. The Dark Age wasn't total stagnation. Survivors adapted, forging simpler societies. Iron technology, cheaper and more abundant than bronze, emerged, giving the era its name, the Iron Age. By 800 BCE, recovery began. Greece saw the rise of city-states like Athens and Sparta, while new empires, like Assyria and Persia, filled the void. The collapse reshaped the Mediterranean, breaking old hierarchies and setting the stage for classical civilizations. It was a painful reset, but one that birthed a new world. The Bronze Age collapse was a cataclysm that ended an era but planted seeds for the future. It showed the fragility of interconnected systems. When trade and resources falter, even mighty empires fall. The rise of iron technology and simpler societies laid the groundwork for Greece, Rome, and beyond. The Phoenician alphabet, born in the collapse's aftermath, became the root of modern writing. Myths like the Trojan War, possibly echoing Mycenaean conflicts, inspired literature and culture. Today, archaeologists uncover the collapse's story through ruins, tablets, and shipwrecks like the Ulubrian, revealing a lost world. The event warns of how climate, war, and inequality can unravel civilizations, a lesson resonant in our globalized age. The Bronze Age collapse wasn't just a dark age. It was a crucible, forging resilience and innovation from chaos, shaping the path to the modern world. That's the gripping saga of the Bronze Age collapse, a catastrophe that plunged the ancient world into darkness yet sparked a new dawn. What do you think? Could these civilizations have survived, or was collapse inevitable? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and tell us what ancient mystery you want us to explore next on Record Rift. If this journey through 1200 BCE captivated you, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell to join our quest through history. Until next time, keep uncovering the rifts that shape our past. This is Record Rift, signing off.